Lally ho, friends. And luckily, we're all in the same spot in our thing, so Izzy did not change his name. So, welcome to episode 21 of Kupo Quest. This is our 21st episode. That was redundant. Didn't need to say that. So, last time, where we left off, we had a grand reunion of a couple different people, really. Our party here reunited with Grunthor. They were actually able to get to Mysidia, find Grunthor, got a little bit of the backstory on what had happened to him. And then at the same time, Blake and Grunthor reunited, even though Grunthor doesn't remember it. Blake remembers seeing him in her hometown, a traveler that gave her news of the outside world. And so that was a little bit of a reunion for them. But then on top of that, Izzy also reunited with some of his family, that being his brother and his mother. Neither one, the brother went okay, I guess, but the reunion with the mother was rocky, to say the least. Some tense words, some cruel words spoken from his mother, and just a little bit of some tension there as we kind of reunited with everyone. As we kind of started splitting up, going our separate ways just a little bit. Everybody had just a little bit of stuff they were looking into, and we will get to all that. But where we had left off was Grunthor had approached Hikael and said, I want to talk to these people. The people that I have been traveling with that I don't remember, this woman and this child. I want to see them. I need to do this for me. So that's where we left off. And where we're going to pick up. So, Grunthor, you've had a week. I hope you've kind of thought about what you're going to say and do. If not, this is going to be even better.
Just going to walk in and say, what's up?
So, here's what happens. Hikael does, he leaves the room with you, and he starts leading you through the palace. Again, it's a big palace. It's windy, and it takes you quite a while to actually get to where you're going. Eventually, you start walking down some spiral stairs, and it almost feels like you're going into a dungeon, although it's not quite as depressing as a dungeon would be. It is definitely kind of a subterranean place. Yeah, sorry.
Just so you know, when Blake got disconnected, I'm now in Blake's place.
Yeah, I know. I need a thing that doesn't have any names.
Blake.
Watch this.
I am so sorry. I'm having internet issue, or I'm having camera issues.
No worries. I'm deleting the names. Now there's no places. This is you're watching.
Izzy, change your name.
This is the great thing about streaming. You all are watching it happen live. There we go. I needed one with no names anyway, just in case this happened. So, Grunthor, eventually he leads you into a small room, a windowless room. As he kind of sits you down, you look around and you don't actually see anyone in there, but he kind of walks over to one of the walls and you see him start to draw with his hands some runes on the wall, like a circle, and then he kind of puts his hand on it. And where he drew the circle, it kind of starts to shimmer, and then you can see through, as though it's a portal. He kind of steps back away from it, and he looks at you. You can't physically pass through this, I hope you understand. They are in quarantine, but this should allow you to see them, and for them to see you, if there's something you'd like to say.
Will we be able to hear each other?
You will. But there's not actually, you can't make physical contact. It's almost like a see-through wall, if you will. So physically nothing is going to be able to pass through, but your voices will travel.
Okay, I go up to the portal.
Okay.
And I'm like, hello?
When you say that, the child, who again is probably 13, 14, you're not really sure, so not like a small child. But they're kind of just sitting at one of the tables reading, and the older Galka, the female, is just kind of in a reclined chair, kind of looks over, and the child stops too and looks at you. Give me a insight check.
8.
8. They're kind of looking at you, and then the woman just eventually says, hello? She kind of stands up and starts walking very slowly over towards the portal.
Forgive me, lady, but I have lost my memory, but I was told that we know each other.
Give me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, I am burning my inspiration on that.
Go for it.
Oh.
Ooh, 1. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, I'll take anything but a 1.
3.
Even a 3.
Whoa.
At least it's not a 1.
Almost, as soon as you say that, your eyes kind of lock with hers. And while your eyes are locked, you don't really have that sensation, but you break away just for a second to check out the rest of her features, her nose, her ears, to see if anything rings a bell. And that splitting headache just shoots through your head. While that's happening, though, you hear a pain sound coming from the room as well. As she also is... You manage to glance up just a little bit. She, too, is holding her head. The child, meanwhile, kind of stands up. Mom, what's happening? Are you okay? And he rushes over, and she's kind of down on her knees now, both hands grasping the side of her head as the kid is just trying to figure out. He looks up at you. What did you do to her?
I don't know. I think we both have some sort of block.
When he looks at you,
I didn't mean to hurt her.
He starts screaming too. He also grabs his head. Once they
as soon as that happens, I'm gonna like put my back to the wall away from the hole and grab my head.
Hikael is watching all this with great interest as he's just kind of back and forth. Interesting. Seems you're not the only one affected by this. Now, who would want to keep you from whoever these people are? So badly. Sorry, I don't mean to sound gleeful, it's just I'm very interested in what's happening here.
I'm gonna take a step towards him. I need you to figure this out. Please. Even if it means my life, I don't want them suffering.
Give me a persuasion check.
Get ready for 4-person on screen again.
Gotcha. Did you give me a persuasion check? Okay. He kind of looks at you. I will do what I can. But there are more pressing matters, especially concerning these two. We have to figure out a cure for this disease. That has to be our top priority. I'm sorry. But I'll see what I can do.
What is it that you need? If I have to be your messenger, I will.
Let me consult my books. I'll let you know what you can do.
And I'll just try and speak loud into the hole without them seeing. It's like, we're going to work on this. I'm so sorry.
Who are you?
I'm known as Grunthor.
You hear a... when you say the name, and then with that, Hikael reaches out and just closes the portal. He goes, I think that's enough. Until we can figure out exactly what's causing this, I don't think further contact is a good idea.
This was a mistake?
No. I think this is very interesting. Information we didn't have before. We know now that whatever's affecting you is affecting them as well. Now, why? That I can't tell you. But something's going on here.
Whatever you can do to alleviate their pain, remove it, even if I have to... I'll find what you need.
He holds up his hand. He just kind of holds up a finger, and you see his eyes kind of, the pupils kind of just go white as a shimmer kind of comes across his eyes. And he stands there for just a second. And he blinks, and he focuses back on you. It does seem that they are relaxed now that the contact is broken, much like I assume you are as well. Kind of looks you up and down. Any lingering effects?
Do I still have the pain in my head?
No, it vanished. Basically, once you broke contact, it receded.
It's gone now.
Fascinating.
Are they okay?
They're fine. Confused, I think, but I can speak with them later. This was good. We know more than we did before. Knowledge is always a step in the right direction.
As long as they're not harmed.
I can promise you they're fine. With that, we'll switch scenes really quick. Ava and Nozak. Anything in particular you would be doing at this point? Last I think we left you, Nozak almost got into a fight with one of the city guards, and Ava had to smooth it over a little bit. So where do you want to do?
Talking about?
Come on, Nozak. Let's just beat the shit out of each other in Izzy's room.
Yeah, it should be big enough.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I think I'm just gonna fix my mech for a bit. I'm pretty sure it still has a broken arm. Haven't really been able to use it much, but I might fix that up and maybe check out the library that Izzy's got. I'm sure I'm not gonna get fucking kicked out of that one, am I?
Yeah, that's fair. He'd probably be willing to share it with you.
You know what? No, I am still mad about that.
Well, that's great.
In a place full of learning and education and all of these great people and great scholars and whatever the hell they want to call themselves, they're gonna start acting like they're high and mighty for natural talent? Like, I don't need this to be able to do all the stuff I've been doing so far. If anything, I just understand things more.
You've worked for an emperor and an empress for how many years? And you're just now realizing that people in an exclusive society are assholes?
Give me an intelligence check, Nozak.
That's a very fucking good question, actually. Which one?
Intelligence.
Which one was it, sorry?
You should be okay at those at the moment.
Just straight intelligence. There it is. 15.
As you're kind of talking through it, and when you say, and you can do with this information whatever you want, however you would react to it. But once you mention the natural talent, you keep talking, you do get a brief memory flashes across your mind at some of the things that Izzy's own mother said to him.
Okay.
Regarding what he could and couldn't do, what he was and what he wasn't. It kind of flashes through your head about the natural talent thing and the portions they place on it, and may or may not put into perspective the reason they judge that so hard. Now, that's what you think, but you can react to that however you want.
You think Izzy might be adopted?
I mean, fuck, I don't know. Izzy looked a lot like his mom.
Yeah, but like, if they were all talking about magic, and I would assume that it'd be like passed down through generations. Like, I don't know. He doesn't really talk much about everything. So like, with the way he talked about it, the like love that he gets or doesn't get from his parents and his family and all that, the no natural talent. Do you think he might be adopted? Or maybe not theirs, and they're just like, dibs, I want that one.
Sorry.
I mean, I don't know. That's kind of fun to think about.
You have natural talents. Maybe they might let you into the library. I wonder if they have any security measures in if I give you a list of books that I want to maybe
I
borrow.
already told Izzy I wouldn't steal from his family.
Well, technically.
Yeah, sorry. I
God damn it.
Yeah, his parents kind of rule this city, so like technically, anything that's it's yeah.
And I was gonna.
If
get
you would have
to
gotten me
take
like
Luca.
before we got here, I wouldn't have made Izzy that promise. But that he got to me first. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want another epic breakdown
Sorry
like
about it.
outside of Lindblom.
Yeah, that was a little scary.
That was pretty cool though. Alright,
That was pretty epic.
I might talk to Blake, see if I can write a list of things I want to get, and maybe she'll help out.
You think Blake will steal?
Well, not steal, but if she's going to be in
okay.
the library anyway, she might borrow the books, so we'll go from there.
Oh,
but
I
I
could
think I'm
borrow
just
books
gonna
from you.
I think I'm just gonna go into the library in Izzy's room and just, I don't know, do some research, fix the mech. I really need to fix this thing, so I might just do that. So good luck fighting air, or the lack thereof.
The lack there, yeah. Well, I mean, technically, I have a lot of it.
True. Maybe next time we can destroy his fire, because you don't see that very often. If we're going by the elements, I don't actually know what's going on, but you know how it is. Alright,
All right.
let's just go home.
So, are you going to go back and work on your mech for a little bit?
Yep, I'm just gonna work on and fix my mech.
Go ahead and give me a d20, add your proficiency modifier.
Proficiency, okay.
So, I think it's +3 at your all's level.
3, yes. Oh, I know what I'm doing. 21.
21. Okay, easy enough.
I got that.
You actually, after you're kind of looking at it, you realize that what's kind of wrong with the arm, it's just very, very minor. You just haven't had the time to look at it. So easy enough to fix. It does take you a while, working with the tools that you have. But yeah, no problem whatsoever. While he's doing that, Ava, are you going to be doing anything else?
Mm-hmm. This is Izzy's room, all right. Is Izzy in here when we're in here?
Izzy, I believe you said... Where did you say you were? I don't think you went back to your room, right?
He's going to the lower levels of the city.
Okay. Oh, that's right. That's right. So no, Ava, he is not there.
Oh, also, you guys teleported in his room, so you've seen it before. But if you want a deeper look, yeah, sure.
I want to do some light snooping.
Give me an investigation check.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Oh, investigation. Yeah.
I know what I'm doing after I fix my mech.
3.
Wonderful.
Oh boy.
Izzy has organized his room in a way that doesn't necessarily make sense to you. Like, you can see that there's definite thought and meticulous planning behind how it is, but it's something about it's clicking. Maybe he has spells on things that keep you from actually being able to locate anything in this room. But yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. You find a lot of books. You find a lot of just loose parchment, inks, quills, things like that, but nothing really exciting.
This man's a master. And I'll just fuck around with my quarter staff in practice.
Okay.
And hopefully not break anything in his room.
Blake. Last I recall, we left you in the library, yes? So I believe you were looking for information on the plague, but you weren't super successful. Is there anything else while you're there that you'd like to be looking for?
Yeah, I think Blake gets curious about if anything has been written about her home. So starts also poking about things in the Norvalian woods.
Okay.
Just to see. I probably said that wrong, sorry.
No, you're from there. You said however you want. Go ahead and give me a investigation check. 14. Wow. All right, that's good. There's kind of a lot there, to be honest, because there's a whole section of this library that's dedicated to either geography or just world history. So you find a couple tomes that kind of go over the Norvalen region and just kind of list out the various different places. The first one that it talks about is Calm. This is a primarily human settlement that's technically part of the Empire's territory now, but it is basically on the edge of the Great Forest of Grunthor, which is the name of the forest that surrounds basically the entire Norvalen region. There is some on Feymarch. That is where you're from. There is some stuff on... They touch a little bit on the various religions of that particular region. But for the most part, the tomes that you find are almost dismissive in tone about the religions there. Specifically, the one that you're more familiar with, the old gods and things of that nature. It seems like most of these are more recent histories, kind of written with a biased bent towards Bahamut-themed religions or non-religious texts at all. And then it kind of goes on to just describe the other places there. There's Tomra, which is an underground city of dwarves, and then the Great Kingdom of Sandaoria, which is a kingdom founded by elves that has, for a long time, withdrawn from society. Around the same time that the Garlean Empire was being formed, the Garlandian Empire, Sandaoria kind of walled themselves off and became more of a self-sufficient nation, really only dealing with the dwarves of Tomra. That was a lot of information. If you'd like any of it actually written out or elaborated on, just see me after the game, and I'll get you whatever information you want. But yeah, there's not anything. It's mainly just kind of an overview of the region, and then other things like that. The one thing that you do find of interest is the Aoife tree. This is a giant tree that's kind of off the coast of Sandaoria on a massive island, and is the known home of the Earth Crystal. So that is the Earth Crystal resides there. It is responsible for the great growth and just the basically why that region is so fertile and green. But yeah, it does reside in the Aoife tree, and the elves of Sandaoria are the ones that are the gatekeepers of the ones that protect the Earth Crystal.
Okay.
Wasn't expecting a lore dump, were you? Don't ask me lore questions. I'll talk forever. So with that, that will take you quite a while to research between that and the specific research you were doing previously. So with that, Izzy, what are you currently up to?
Izzy is going to just casually walk to the lower circle of the city where all the workers and non-magical residents live.
Okay. Walk, you mean walking out to the edge of the teleportation and porting down. There are no bridges between each of the levels. But yeah, once you get there, it's a familiar path to you. You've been here many, many times before, and in some ways, you may even feel more comfortable down here than you do in the upper city itself. So what are you doing? You've got your bag. What are you doing down here?
Yeah. He puts up his hood, and then then you see he pulls up what looks like a little mesh black thing as he clips it onto the top. So his face basically is hidden. And as he walks through with his hands in his pockets, he lets out a song while he whistles. And as he does, it seems to catch the attention of some of the people are going there, almost like it's familiar. And then you see he goes into an alley and waits a bit before you immediately see in front of him a line forms. And he says, and he just nods before saying, "Hello, patrons. It's been a while. Unfortunately, I don't have many potions for you today, so I'll see what I can do." And he opens up his bag, and inside you would see potions, but not like the grandiose potions you like get from a potion or alchemic shop. They're things like rheumatism, rheumatism, eczema cure, various creams. You see one that just says for sickness, and you see one by one he starts handing people various potions that they seem to need, and when he empties out his bag, you see he nods to the crowd before just leaving.
One of the last patrons you have is an older man, Hume, probably in his late 50s, and you can see that he's got burn marks all across like the side of his face, down his neck, and even his hand seems to be suffering from like third-degree burns. As he comes up to you and you hand him what is essentially your last potion that will help with some of the pain, he just kind of grasps your hand, and he looks you in the eye and he goes, or where he thinks your eye might be, since he can't really see your face. You do good work here, and we're so grateful for you. I wish we could repay you for this. You make life bearable down here. I've always wanted to tell you that. Thank you. He lets go of your hand.
He nods and waits until he leaves before heading out with his empty bag. And as he's flying back over, he just pulls the mesh. It kind of drops it like it has a rolling mechanism at the bottom, so it just pulls into his little thing. And he's going to go find his brother now. Now that diseases are on his mind, he realizes he needs to have a conversation with his brother.
Okay. Give me a investigation check.
You know what? I just might. Oh shit! Wrong button. Okay, there we go. That is nice. That's oh wait, I have level of exhaustion, so that's a disadvantage. I forgot. Hold on.
Let's see what you get. Oh yeah, you're tired.
Nice, 14.
14 will do it though. 14 was the DC I had in my head, so. It takes a minute because he's not in any of the normal places that you would actually think to find him. You check, his room. No, you check some of the more common reading areas. Eventually, you bump into him, kind of walking more towards your room, and Grunthor is behind him. As you kind of meet up with him eventually, almost by happenstance. Give me an insight check.
I just might. Hold on. Nice. That's a natural one.
4.
Oh.
Everything seems fine. A little weird you see him here, but it's just him and Grunthor.
Yeah, he walks. He's like, "Oh, good. I don't seem to be interrupting anything important."
Ow.
Continue.
Hiki. I need more direct advice about the whole snake's pox ordeal. I have your notes that was given to me by the Emperor, but clearly you only kept light notes, which makes complete sense. You wouldn't want all of the answers handed on to them on a pedestal because it would make more sense for them to come to us for the answers. But I need to know Blake's village. My short friend, the one who doesn't have fur. Her village seems to have been overran by the snake's pox. So I need whatever you did for the cure for the Empire, so I can give her that cure.
He looks at you for a second, and then he turns to Grunthor. You don't need to be here for this if you don't like. You can head on back if that's preferable.
I mean, I take a look at both of them and realize, wow, they really do look alike. And,
oh yeah,
and
very similar.
I'm gonna say, at least to Hekael, I'm going to go prepare for whatever it is you need me to do. And I'm going to try and look for where the shops are for maybe materia.
Okay.
if I remember correctly, the only main difference is that Hikael has dreadlocks that are tied back rather than just wearing his hair down, right?
That's basically, and just based on how you've played the character, I do think Hikael carries himself a little differently. The posture's a little different. But other than that, look-wise, yeah, it's just the hair. Like height, everything else is, which was hilarious for me.
Hikael has transition lenses instead of regular glasses.
Which was hilarious as they were discussing whether or not you were adopted. I was like... and then someone said, he looks a lot like the mom. And I'm like, he has an identical twin brother.
Nozak's not very smart, even with a 19 intelligence.
So...
Nozak thought twins was a myth for the longest time.
You, as Grunthor walks away... Hikael turns back to you. Let's discuss this somewhere. He kind of looks around. You're in the middle of a hallway. A little more private. Follow me, please. As he just kind of walks past you and starts leading you into his study. As he kind of shows you in, unless you refuse to follow.
Oh, no. He goes in, and he waits for the door to close before saying, Wait, I'm sorry. Why is security needed for this?
I just think it's a sensitive conversation that we should have. It's not something that people walking by need to hear. Ask your questions.
Okay. What is the cure to snakepox?
There is no cure. That's what we're seeking.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Wasn't it cured in the Empire? That's why we went to that entire quarantine city where there were no people who had it anymore.
It wasn't cured. It was taken care of.
Okay. Is that... Wait. He stops for a second, and you see he's processing the information. He's like, is that a difference the king didn't know, or a difference the king did know when he told me that?
That was something that we decided the king didn't need to remember.
The fact that his citizens were sick.
How the spreading of the disease stopped. There is no cure. We're seeking a cure. Believe me, I want a cure more than anybody. But we don't have one. We had no choice. It was running rampant through both of those towns.
So where are the citizens who aren't sick anymore? He puts air quotes around that part.
He just kind of looks at you and just kind of waits. Izzy, don't make me say it.
He stops for a second and he looks at him. And you see for a split moment, this is the first time that Izzy genuinely looks hurt by something his family has said. And he says, "Why? Do you understand?" Of course you do. Of course you understand. That would have been a stupid question. So what is the plan?
I did what I had to. I did what I had to. Do you know how many more people would have died if I had done nothing? We have two subjects. We have two subjects that we're studying. We think that we can derive a cure from them, but we're not there yet. If we sat back and did nothing, it would have ran rampant through that city. How many more would have died if we had done nothing?
Hikael, you need to understand that doing bad things for the greater good doesn't make them any less bad.
I'm not saying it does.
I'm not sure.
But it had to be done.
I want to be mad at you, but I can't because I know that this is just the way you were raised.
Well, what would you have done, Izzy?
So,
this was your mission. I only took it over because you went missing. What would you have done?
I didn't go missing. My ship exploded. And no one came to get me, Hikael. What do you think I was going to do?
I thought you were dead. I thought you were dead.
Just you. Just you thought I was dead.
That's what I was told. That's what they both told me.
Yeah, he sighs and just grabs his the bridge of his nose. And you see he looks up, he's like, oh god.
I was told you were dead, and I was told to just tell people you ran away.
I'm not one to get mad at people when it's not their faults. So you don't have to explain yourself to me any further. However, this is an actual problem, and I need you to tell me that you're doing everything in your power to solve it.
I am doing everything in my power to solve it. Do you think I'm proud of what I did, or what I had to do? But the question remains, Izzy, what would you have done? What would you have done?
Don't do that.
I'm curious.
Don't do that. You do not get to impart your guilt on me.
I'm not trying to impart my guilt, but you seem to have all the answers. The moral compass. What would you have done? You don't know. Because you can't do what I have to do.
You know what? Well, I guess he was already standing. You're right.
Look,
I don't know what I would have done. Honestly, this was a waste of time. I don't even know why I thought talking to you would make sense.
I'm sorry. Stop. I'm sorry. I missed you, if that helps. I hate that this is how this is going. We were close once, you know.
Yes, I'm aware.
Sometimes I just wish it could be like that again. But things are different. I've had to do things that... I've had to do things I don't think you can understand.
I'm going to be here for the next couple of days. And in that time, I need you to hold on to that feeling. Because that feeling right there, that's how I felt ever since I was a child. I understand that you've always had responsibilities, and I understand that that's hard. I make fun of the fact that nobles think they have problems, but I understand fluently the decisions that need to be made. But I need you to try to understand what it's been like standing on the sidelines and being treated as if I'm less than for not being able to handle those responsibilities, Hikael. Do you know that when Father chose me to come to the surface because of my medical knowledge, that was the only time I've ever felt as if there was a chance he could be proud of me?
I didn't know that.
And when you seemed upset about it, I wasn't happy because you were upset. I was happy because I thought for once you would see what I've been through. Maybe while I'm here, you'll understand.
Give me a persuasion check.
But oh yeah, sure. At disadvantage. You know what? I'm gonna
You can roll this one. You can roll this one straight.
Oh, thank God.
Holy damn.
Nice. I'm going to use inspiration.
Go for it.
Good use. Good use.
Let you.
Oh, yes.
Natural 20.
Let's go.
Your words,
Good shit.
as you're talking, his demeanor changes ever so slightly. A slight slump of the shoulders. Very slight. Very almost imperceptible, but you know him well. Is there anything else you want to say at the end of this?
You see, he just shakes his head before saying, I'm going to go to my room because I'm pretty sure that's where Nozak and Ava are, and the two of them, I don't want them to break my stuff. But while I'm here, feel free in between your busy schedule to come talk to me. Despite what it might have seemed, all the mean words you threw at me to impress mom and dad, or the times where you smiled at me being yelled at, I always knew there was a chance you didn't mean it. So I've always had forgiveness in my heart for you specifically. I need to go. Go. You can come speak to me whenever you want. No, I know you need time to get your thoughts together. It would be unwise. It would be unwise for you to speak with so much on your mind right now.
He's kind of
I
bows
love
his
you.
head. Kind of nods.
And after he says I love you, he just leaves.
Give me a perception check.
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
This one's disadvantaged because you are exhausted.
Yeah, it's fine. Listen, you get what you get.
Is that an 18 with disadvantage?
Yeah.
Right as the door is shutting, almost imperceptible, you can hear him say, almost under his breath, I love you too, Izzy. Right before the door shuts behind you.
And a gaper.
I'm sorry.
Cue porn music.
They're brothers.
Yo. Whoa! My
Don't
God.
be weird.
Mine was a funny meme. Like,
Yeah, but
Hey, it was
after
just
that-
the music.
And this is where we find out he is adopted, so it's okay.
No, don't like that. Izzy's gonna go to his room to see what type of nonsense his friends are up to.
the end of Arc 2 is our Game of Thrones era.
So, real quick, we don't have to RP all this. Really quick, Grunthor, give me a investigation check. This is going to be a disadvantage because you don't really know how the layout of the city is. 5. You look around. You even try taking one of the little teleport lifts or two, but the way the city's laid out, each section is kind of dedicated to its own thing. You haven't actually found any kind of market section yet since you've been through, so you think that there's probably one here, but you might need someone that's more familiar with the city, like Izzy or Hikael, to help you find something like that. So, but you're pretty confident that you could probably find that here, just with the correct guidance. Now, I will say, fast forwarding a little bit to later in the afternoon, Izzy, when you come back to the apartment, surprisingly, everything is exactly where you left it. Nozak seems to have just kind of finished tinkering on his mech, and you can see that the broken arm is now functioning again. Blake at this point kind of comes back with just a stack of papers and notes that she's done. Ava seems a little disappointed, but otherwise okay. And then finally Grunthor returns to the room as well. All back together. Everybody except for Izzy, because you already had your shot. Give me an insight check.
19.
Hey,
Whoa. Oh, sorry, Grunthor.
Dirty
I didn't
20.
need one from you, but I appreciate the roll. Sorry. 19, 28,
Just wanted to be clear.
23. I will say anyone that's above 20. So that would be Ava and Blake. Nozak, you're still a little distracted. You're putting the finishing touches on. The other two of you, though, there is a change in Grunthor's demeanor. He seems to be just preoccupied or something. It's interesting. You've never quite seen him like this before. Do with that what you will.
glad to see that everything in my room is still intact. Thank you, Ava and Nozak.
Absolutely.
That's what he says. I'm also very happy you didn't go snooping through my room because that would be incredibly disrespectful and invasive.
Oh yeah, no. Why would I do that to my friends?
That's what he says. He says, "Oh, actually, Ava, you might find this humorous.
Ooh.
You see, he goes to his drawer and he just opens it, and you see he pulls out a stack of what looks like parchment, and he hands them to you. He goes, these are all the marriage proposals I've received from other nobles in the city.
Holy shit! How
yeah,
many
they're
are there?
all. Oh yeah, there are like 27.
Damn!
Yeah,
Holy
he's
shit!
like, he says, you might get a laugh at them. Former requests for marriage for political power are very funny.
I'm just gonna start reading them.
That's incredible.
Give me an investigation check.
Holy shit! Fuck! I need to get good at that.
I
Damn it!
8. Izzy, what's your favorite one?
You want my headband?
His favorite one will probably be one that's written by a noble who couldn't be any younger than like 65.
I mean, this seems like a good deal. She wouldn't, not going to be alive very long. You get all the benefits. You get the cash out when she's dead.
Oh, I don't want to get married for political purposes. If I find someone, I'd rather that person be someone who I like.
That's fair.
To be fair, we don't really have many rules for marriages here. We find the concept of arranged marriage a bit barbaric at times. That's why you also probably won't find a lot of books on personalized religions and such.
Blake, Nozak, Grunthor, what are you all doing?
Once I've finished tinkering with my mech, and I press a couple of buttons, and it goes back down, and there's just Whittle Bunny Rabbit there. Blake, you went to the library, right? I think your mic might be a bit stuffy then.
Stop it.
There's a frog in your throat.
Still can't hear you. You're not having much luck tonight with the tech issues.
We are having some tech issues tonight, aren't we?
Speak slower, because we're trying to read the I'm sitting in the corner, by the way, just staring off into the distance, sharpening my sword.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say half of that was actually me because like my mic has like a manual like mute unmute, so I usually just like mute if I'm not talking.
Yeah.
But then my mic cut out, and it's been doing that randomly with Discord. I don't know why. So it's just like
So many issues. It's all good.
all
This is
of
what's
the
great about
issues,
streaming.
just, like, it chose to happen tonight, so I'm not stressed. I'm fine. I have a seltzer here that I might be drinking.
No stress. No stress.
Nice.
We're just playing D&D. There's no
Yeah.
stress here until something bad happens. But that's game stress. That's different.
Yeah, you went to the library, Blake, right?
Yeah, I did. I've been studying all day, and I barely could tell you my name right now. Head's all full of letters.
Well, obviously we know they're not going to let me in there, and I haven't had the chance to check out Izzy's library yet. By the way, Izzy, I won't be doing the mech in the library. There is not enough room, I promise. I don't want to break anything.
I could have told you that. I feel like that warning was unnecessary.
Anyway, if I just like write down a couple of things on a piece of paper, do you think you might be able to find some books to bring back for me?
If they'll let me, like, she just has like notes in her. They let you take. If they let me take the books, yeah. I don't know if they'll let. I didn't ask. I just wrote notes.
I mean, if they don't, then they don't. Then, I'll get them my own way. But
I also have a fully furnished library downstairs, Nozak. It's
I
nowhere
know.
near compared to the college, but it might help a bit.
I'll probably read something down there, and if I can't find what I'm looking for, then I'll write a list. But
Also,
yeah.
Blake, unfortunately, it may be a bit harder to find a cure than I thought. So that's something we're going to need to work on together.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was starting to piece together from all of this, and she just kind of gestures to the massive notes that has been collected throughout the day.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I have quite an extensive knowledge on medicine. So I think the two of us putting our brains together, we can find something.
Yeah. Is there like, this is a college, right? Is there like a healer's college? Anybody?
This place isn't a college. This is my home. But the actual magical school, I'm sure that Izzy thinks for a bit. DM, is there a healer? Is there like a healer's guild or a place that specializes in medicine here?
There would be, yeah. Now, on the college specifically, there would be, portions of the college that help study that, but there is also essentially like a medical cloud, you know what I mean? And that's where you would go for any kind of ailments or something. So, yeah, there's all sorts of...
So I think I know the answer to this, but is there magical healing here?
That's all there is.
Okay, cool.
That's
all
pretty
right,
much how they operate their healing.
And I'm just gonna take a swing here. I'm assuming there's no like clergy.
This Mysidia itself basically is more of a academia focused, not as much on the clergy, the religion. There's not like an official religion of Mysidia. The closest thing you have in this city would be those who revere the arcane a little bit as more of a divine force in the world, as opposed to just a natural substance. But it's more of a fringe group. That's a small group, not officially sanctioned.
There is a healing cloud. I can take you there.
Yeah, I might want to check that out at some point. And I have gaps in my knowledge.
I don't wish to put a damper on things, but if there isn't any information there's no information that any medic can give you that me or my brother don't already have. And considering that he hasn't found a cure yet, I think the best you can do is possibly talk to him. But I told him he can speak to me while we all wait here. Unfortunately, I don't think you're going to find a cure by just going over books, unfortunately.
It wasn't so much even trying to find a cure, it was just trying to learn more for my own sake. I mean, I know I had to learn some healing, but I know I have gaps in my knowledge. And if I ever go home, having more knowledge, like being able to help more.
So, are you saying you're looking for books on medicine?
Yeah.
Books for me?
No, is that
I just it's not a big deal or anything, but I just so happen to have a very large collection of books on medicine in my library, a part of my personal collection. I also have a list of my top 15 favorite ones.
Oh, I love it.
Sure.
He's already running down the stairs to the library.
Wait, Izzy, wait. Quick question. Oh, I'll be there in a minute anyway. I'll just find him in the library.
Ava, while they're having this conversation, you had a 28 yet. You noticed that Grunthor has been distant from the rest of the group. He hasn't participated ever since he got back. He's been basically focused just on sharpening his blade Duchess has kind of come around, and he hasn't even really she sat down next to him, and he hasn't even really reached over to like pet her. He seems really lost in thought. If you don't do anything, then after a while, Izzy returns with this handful of books, just grasp up and just kind of comes in and just throws them all on the table, and they scatter like everywhere. And there are how many books you think you could carry? I'm assuming I was thinking you brought like 25 books and like just like a little bag.
We can actually figure this out mathematically.
Let's do math.
We don't need to do that.
Nope. This is where we're going now.
Oh man,
but we're doing numbers.
Why? I should have known better than to ask the wizard that question.
All right, let's see. The average book is 12 ounces. Because of his strength, I believe he can lift up to 80 pounds at a time.
Don't ask about
Can we get a
ounces.
conversion?
No.
Okay.
Don't forget to include the stuff that you're carrying already.
Oh, true.
He would have taken his bag and his other book off.
He dropped
I
everything.
think.
Maximize the book carrying. What you will notice while he's crunching those numbers, Blake, they're...
All right, cool. So 15 books on average would only be 11 to maybe 13 pounds, so he could probably carry half and half at once.
Okay. There seems to be a lot of books on medicine here, things that you might be able to glean a little bit more information from. You will notice that some of the tomes here, because you spent a lot of time looking through those tomes, they're different than the ones that you had. You'll even notice that one or two of them do have a what looks to be a stamp from the official library, as though Izzy checked them out and never took them back. So, based on the checkout date, looks like he's had them for quite some time. So, a lot of reading to do if you want to do that. But if not, is there anything else anyone wants to do today? Blake, if you're going to read, that's going to be more of like a longer, like kind of overnight thing because there's so many books that he brought. But at this point, the day's getting kind of late. Is there anything you all want to do? Any more conversations you want to have before turning in?
Izzy,
Yes.
do you... I mean, obviously this city is very magic-based and oriented. Do you remember back in Lindblom, there was the materia? Do you remember that?
Yes, materia.
At the mention of that, I'm going to be like...
Do you guys have any, like, materia shops here, or like, concentrated magic that I might be able to look at?
Well, concentrated magic, there are plenty of magical items that hold magic within them. But if you're talking about materia specifically, DM, feel free to fill in Izzy's lines.
You are familiar with the term. From what you're aware of, it's a relatively new discovery. But you do think that there is a place basically in the merchant ward that you could find some. Just kind of thinking it through, you're not 100% sure because you never shopped for it before. But especially if they had a shop in Lindblom, there's almost nothing that would have been sold outside of Mysidia that was magic that Mysidia didn't have first.
I can take you all to the merchant's ward tomorrow. Unfortunately, I won't be able to buy anything. I don't have that many funds. But
no,
I will gladly take you all. I know the city like the back of my hand. Probably one or two.
Okay, that's not a lot. Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, I'm curious. Just some ideas that, I mean, with the way that I'm kind of being spoken to and treated here, I don't think I'll be outside much, but I think that has kind of warranted me a lot of time to work on a few ideas that I've been tinkering with in my head that I think might be interesting. Completely unrelated. Do you... No, wait, no, you don't have any martial things, so you won't have any targets. Ignore that last part. Yeah, materia. Let's do that tomorrow. Ava, this will be cool. You'll enjoy this later.
I
If
mean,
it
I'm sure
worked.
they have targets. They have to have something to throw their fire from their wands at.
Good point. We'll figure it out. Yeah, if we could maybe look at some materia tomorrow. I've got some ideas that I want to test out.
Right. I'm pretty sure they were given guest rooms, right, DM?
You haven't really had a chance. So Grunthor has a guest room, but the rest of you just kind of showed up. So no.
Well, to be fair, Izzy made it clear he doesn't sleep in his bed. Ava only needs to trans, and the other two are, I'm pretty sure, are only 3 to 5 feet tall. So I'm very sure they can share his bed.
And Grunthor's like, well, my room's bigger, so I'm gonna.
Grunthor, where have you been staying, actually? You've been here longer than we have.
I have a room.
Oh.
I think it's big enough if we can... I mean, you have a bedroll, I assume.
Yeah.
If you do not mind bedding with Duchess, you're more than welcome to share with me. I say
All
absently as I'm going...
Blake
As
is just
for-
kind of sitting next to Duchess and leaning up against her and reading. Like,
Duchess, but after as you do that, and then once Grunthor's kind of preoccupied, she kind of leans over into you, and just kind of lays her head on your knee as you're just reading. The three of you kind of sitting together, and it's nice. It's comforting with Duchess there, and then the methodical just from Grunthor, just keeping a steady pace. It's just it's a nice background noise for your reading.
That'd be lulling Nozak to sleep so
I
hard.
was about to say Blake is probably falling asleep. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Blake is just, like, information, like, between, like, because this is the same day that she cast, like, calm emotions
Yeah.
on herself, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so just with between everything and just, like, the sheer amount of information that she's been reading all day, she's just, like, falling, like, it's warm
Slowly
and
falling.
cozy, and there's and there's like the noise going on, so it's just like the book is kind of like falling off of her lap, and she's just like kind of nodding off.
Yeah, I got sleepy
As-
just describing that, actually.
Yeah.
After a minute, Blake does fall asleep. And let's see, Nozak, you'd probably be the only one to notice it with your passive perception, but she's kind of just got the book propped open, and you can see that she's kind of just slumped up against Duchess, and Duchess has also kind of fallen asleep in her lap. Grunthor
You
still doesn't
love
seem to
that.
be really paying attention.
Grunthor, can I speak to you in the library?
I stop just before nicking myself and wipe the blade certainly, and I sheath the sword and put away my whetstone.
Yeah. Izzy will lead him down the spiral staircase to the library. Once again, this big room full of books.
Is my room far from Izzy's?
It's down another corridor. It only takes you a couple minutes to walk there, so it's not very
Okay.
far at all. But it's not like right next door or across the hall or anything.
Okay. If and I'll just turn before leaving to Ava. If you do want to stay in my room, I know Hekaio kind of assigned it to me. If you want, then maybe someone can show you to that room.
Does Duchess know how to get there?
Probably not.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because Duchess showed up
I'll
with you
just
all.
guess.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just guess. It's fine.
Ava's just going to
I
go
mean,
start picking every door until he finds an empty one.
Hello.
Ava's the
I'll
roguiest
give him the-
non-rogue I've ever seen.
I'll give him the general directions, and maybe if he happens to run into Hekaio or one of the other employees there, they might know.
Okay. As you leave,
Yeah,
you follow
when-
Izzy down to the library and continue.
Yeah, when they get down, he closes the door and immediately he goes to him. He says, I want to give my deepest apologies. I am so sorry that my brother just took you without your consent. That is incredibly inappropriate, and you should not have had to go through that, especially in a moment where you didn't know whether we were safe or not afterwards. I can't even imagine how stressful that was.
What's done is done, and it doesn't seem that anyone suffered from it.
I don't.
Maybe. Go ahead.
He's like, it's not okay though. You see, he is trying his best to not be angry or bitter, as he just says, my brother was just doing what he thought was right, but that doesn't make it okay. But I want you to know that he didn't end up like I did. He doesn't really, he cares more about what he can do to appease my parents and further Mysidia than he does about the well-being of others sometimes.
As I said, it's okay. Do not worry yourself further, Izzy.
Yeah. Grunthor, you notice there's clearly more he wants to say, but he's not saying.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there when you two when you were talking to your mother, right? Or was I?
The mother? You were there with the mother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all of us were.
I wanted to talk to you because it's different for Ava and Nozak. Unlike them, I'm not going to have nearly all of eternity to forgive people. And I want to be better and forgive them now because my life is short. And I know that it'll just fester inside. And I know you're the only person who can relate to that. So I just wanted to know, how do you forgive people who you want to be mad at?
For myself, I look at the bigger horizon. To forgive your enemies is more difficult than to forgive your friends. But in this situation, you're trying to forgive family. I don't know my family. I can't remember them. So my situation is also different. I think you need to put your focus in your daily tasks or a goal. I have one now. Other than to protect you all, I need to get to the bottom of this forgetfulness of mine. Because it's affecting others as well.
Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. Do you want to talk about it?
It has something to do with the plague. And I think you were doing some research on Bastok. When I mention that, do I start getting a tingle?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not from that.
And what you tried to find, and the haze, for lack of a better word.
Like you heard me mention to my mom, I think it has something to do with the Grand Council of Mysidia, which she has a seat on. Whether my father will do what he can to at least make sure your block is out of your head, I'm not sure. But if they don't, I can... he nods a bit. He says, I never believed I had a purpose before. And that's why I grasp so quickly onto things I can research or things I can look up. Because no one's ever expected much from me before. But I made a promise to you that I would help you figure this out, so that's what I'm going to do. So if the council can't help us, I'm going to make sure I do everything in my power to help you. Even if I have to study for 100 years to find a way to break the haze that's on you until I'm strong enough, I'll do what I can. Now, hopefully it won't come to that, but knowing how the council works, I'm not expecting much when we speak to my father.
And I cannot ask for more than this. Thank you. But I think this block, as well as the snake pox, have a hand with each other. We need to get to the bottom of that.
I'm going to tell you something, but I need you to promise not to tell the others, because if I tell Nozak, he's going to get upset because he's from the Empire. And if I tell Blake, I don't want her to lose hope in her quest to try to find a cure. Can you at least promise me that you'll keep this between us for as long as you can?
I see Ava over there like, what about me? Sorry.
If it is necessary for them to know, I cannot make that promise. But if it's something that can harm them, I will try not to cause them any pain.
I was really worried you would say that. One second. I need to speak to Ava as well. Y'all thought I forgot about him, didn't you? No, he goes upstairs and he just whispers, it's like, Ava.
What? Oh, fuck. Alright.
Bye, Ava.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah. One explanation later, blah blah blah. They basically let the people die and wipe people's memories. You guys heard the talk. And that's when he just says, I understand my brother's heart was in the right place, and I'm sure that my parents either pushed him to it or he only did it so that they wouldn't be disappointed. But I don't know what to do with this information. I think right now this should be something we don't worry about yet. And before I tell Nozak, I want to wait until we're actually out of Mysidia, because I know he will have some very strong feelings about it, and I would prefer to keep peace with my parents while we're here at least.
Yeah, that's a good idea. He already attacked the garden.
Oh my god. Okay. If there's no cure for the snake pox, what are we going to do?
Hell, I know one way to cure something.
Magic?
No.
Potion.
Your brother kind of did it.
Well, I don't know if he'll be willing to let up. Well, firstly, the king's dead, so I don't really think there's much worry about that right now, but I'm scared of what'll happen if we beat Noctis and then Mysidia has to admit what they did to the victims of the Empire. Because that they're already going to be in a hard spot. The last thing they need is losing one of their major allies.
Who, Mysidia or the Empire?
The Empire. Mysidia will be fine.
Oh, why do you give a fuck about the Empire?
Because I care about. Hold on. What was Sarah's husband's name?
Firion.
Tyrion.
Firion. Thank you. He says, because I care about Firion and Nozak, and they care about the Empire.
Oh shit, that's right. I forgot Nozak's with the Empire.
This might come as a surprise to you two. I do actually consider you all friends.
Ew.
Oh yeah, I consider you guys my friends, but not the Empire. You know, people can not like Cornelia and still like me.
That's fair. I think right now the best thing to do is to worry about this later, but I feel bad that it's my family that's caused it. And I'm not sure where to move forward after we save the Empire.
Perhaps over time, the guilt will be enough to make them realize their errors.
My parents probably not, but Hikael didn't really seem too thrilled about having to do it.
Another coup? No, I was kidding.
Third time's the charm.
This is.
You've not been to a kingdom
right,
you didn't depose the leader to yet. So
you were right, Grunthor. Sometimes it is best just to worry about what you can and do the jobs you can do. This may be something that has to wait until after our main mission. Besides, if the Empire ends up destroying itself from the inside out because of Noctis's faulty ruling, I guess we didn't lose anything either way.
That's true.
Okay. So, we'll tell Nozak and Blake after we leave here. But I guess I need to prepare a speech for my father. So, you two get rest. I'm probably going to be writing for the rest of the night.
Are we coming to that, or is that just like a you and your family
I
thing?
would prefer you all to come with me. Yes.
Oh, okay.
You all are on this mission as well. You're going to act as representatives for it too.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're talking to them about the crystals and shit.
Also, if I need help, I did make a promise to my mom. If she pulls through with this and gives us more answers to the mother crystal, well, I told her I was going to tell her about the winds, and I might need you there to dictate how much we do or don't tell.
You'd like me to dictate how much we do or don't tell?
Yes, you're going to be telling her about it. Garuda is kind of like your thing now, and I didn't want to step on your toes, you know?
All right. Yeah.
Garuda's like
That,
your
you.
thing,
Yeah.
you know, that's
Yeah, no.
your thing over there. So I'm going to let you break the news.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you all for sticking with me. Well, you two. I can thank the other two tomorrow.
And if
All
that
right.
is all, we should all rest. And I reach over and put my hand on Izzy's shoulder as like, sleep well. You will need your rest.
We'll try. Thank you.
Do one of those little sleeper pinches, and Izzy just collapses onto the floor.
Pressure point.
Yeah.
Gakko death grip.
I don't have stunning strike yet, but hey, you know.
All right, and Ava, if you wish to bed in my room, we can head that way and pick up Duchess on the way.
All right, cool.
All right. With that, you all retire. Blake, you're already asleep. You get a nice long rest. You can all take a long rest. Izzy, though, let me know. What are you doing? Are you going to try to sleep? Are you going to try to push through and actually...
Yes.
Okay, you are going to try to sleep?
Yeah, I think he spends like 3 hours like just making. You know how like when someone writes a paper and there are like phases to it, he spends like an hour bullet pointing the points he wants to give to his dad when he speaks to him,
Okay.
and then he just like folds it up and like. He actually has a very comfortable looking like chair, and you see he just lays over it. Like, you know when there's like a sitting chair and people like lay over the sides with their arms, with their legs over the arms? Kind of like that.
Okay. Yeah, you had mentioned staying up all night, and I'm like, oh, are we looking at going into the next day with 2 points of exhaustion? I was
No, I feel
getting
as
excited.
if with the exhaustion. So Izzy only has a +2 to con. So I feel like he realistically with exhaustion could not stay up all night.
Fair.
I think.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I think when Grunthor and Ava come and get Duchess, like Blake kind of wakes up enough to be like, "Are you gonna put me in the saddlebag again?" Just kind of like half awake.
What do you say to
And then
that,
just
Grunthor?
I look at Duchess. I'm like going, Duchess, do you want to stay and protect Blake?
Duchess kind of looks at you, makes eye contact with you, and then kind of looks back at Blake, and then just gives you a very subtle, just kind of like a little nod.
Okay. I go over to Blake, kind of pull her little Or if she doesn't have a blanket, then maybe move a cloak.
Yeah,
Like,
she wears a cloak. So
okay. I wrap the cloak a little bit more and lean over and, bump heads with Duchess and say, like, good girl. And then
She kind
I'll
of
see you in the morning.
nuzzles back into your forehead. And you also get the feeling she's also kind of like half asleep, groggy, like she's not fully awake either. She's just like, okay.
I don't want to move.
Yeah, exactly.
It's already morning.
It's not protecting Blake. It's just I don't want to move. I'm comfortable.
Oh, that's the perfect excuse. Thanks.
I take off my cloak and I wrap it around, Duchess and head out.
Perfect.
Cute.
With that, you all do get a long rest. Blake, you're the first one to come to because you have gotten the most sleep out of everybody. You hear just a faint kind of knock at the door.
Blake is kind of immediately like, I don't know, like she's been sleeping in like a bunch of places that aren't familiar, but now like it's really unfamiliar, like not with the same people, like not really in the same spot that she was like kind of aware of. So it's just kind of the immediate like, oh shit, like I don't know what's happening. And so she just kind of like freezes and like leans more into Duchess because that's like the only familiar thing right now is just the bird.
And the bird seems to still be sleeping through this.
Yeah, and so she's just kind of like doing the like, do I get up and get it, or is it like is it like a murderer that's going to like murder me if I answer the door? Like it's just the sort of like and like she's just kind of like looking around the room for like anybody.
Everybody else is
still in there with her.
Still asleep.
Yeah. I think Duchess and I are the only ones in the room, but we're fucking dead to the world, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's just kind of like, I don't know what to like. Does the person knock again, or is it just like?
Yeah.
Okay. At the second one, she kind of like gets up really uneasily and just sort of like quietly walks over, like.
Give me a stealth check.
And.
Just for the hell of it.
It's gonna be like a 0. She just like.
I believe in you.
Oh yay!
15. I just wanted to see if you like groggily, like when you first wake up, just start bumping into shit, but you're fine.
And yeah, so she like gets to the door and kind of like has her hand on it but doesn't quite open it yet, and is like trying to listen to see like if she knows who's there.
Give me a perception check.
Or like I guess not knows, but like it's an information. 25.
25.
Let's go.
There is just silence from the other side of the door. Like,
what is the detail on that? Jesus.
Nothing. Silence.
She like kind of opens the door just like a crick and just kind of like gets like the one eyeball out, like.
What you see standing on the other side of the door is about as tall as you, actually. So you're looking it straight in the eye. It's
oh no. Oh no.
It looks to be like a small automaton. Just something like a small kind of puppet little thing that's just kind of standing there. It has like facial features, like it has an eyes and a mouth, but they almost seem to be painted on and completely useless. However, it kind of walks almost like a marionette. And as the door opens, it kind of juggles around and just kind of cocks its head and looks at you. It says nothing. It just holds its hand up and it has a scroll in it and it just reaches it to you.
Oh god.
Kind of
so cool.
Do you need something?
Doesn't
Sir?
respond.
She like opens up enough to like get her one hand out and kind of like grab it.
It lets it
A
go.
little. Oh no, she doesn't like that.
Then it just kind of turns and starts walking down the hallway away from you.
She kind of like pulls the door open and just kind of like sticks her head out like what the hell?
It just
Like,
continues down the
what
hallway.
or-
It doesn't turn around, and then it just takes around the corner and disappears. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah. So she like closes the door and opens the scroll, but realizes like really quickly that the lights are all off. It's like, "Gosh, darn it!" and then opens the door. Like,
Yeah, as you open the door, the lights, those little dancing lights, the globules that just kind of always are in the hallway, give you enough to see. This is a summons. This is a summons to the Archmaids, directed specifically to Izzy, although it says Isaiah on it, specifically for today. An urgent summons for as soon as possible. You don't actually see Izzy in the room, though. So
yeah. She's like, well, it's gosh, darn it. Is this like a 2-room or is it only one?
Izzy, I'll let you answer that question since this is your room. What do you envision for your bedroom?
It is a room with a bed and a desk, posters full of wizards, and another door on the edge. Oh, sorry, one little, I guess, cutout on the edge that seems to have like various blue and silver cloves. The window in front of his desk, and the other one you just see a hexagonal door. Hexagonal is not right; it's more of pentagonal. It's like, and it that just says library on it, and the door to the library is opened ajar, is a bit ajarred.
Okay. So she puts 2 and 2 together, being a clever girl, and goes into the library, like kind of walking carefully because it's still a little bit dark and she can't quite see, and kind of pops her head into the library door and is like, Izzy?
Izzy, give me a
Are
perception
you
check
in
with
here?
disadvantage.
Rude. All right,
You're
let's
asleep.
see. Yikes! Oh, actually, that's good.
21 with
21.
disadvantage. You startle awake. The dream you were having was tense. With all the things that have been happening and all of the things going on in your life right now. And in the dream, you hear someone calling your name. And their voice sounds kind of like Hikael's. But as you kind of come to, you hear that same word, your name, but in a different voice, kind of echoing through the library. And it takes you a minute to realize, but it's Blake that's calling your name.
Yeah, you see his ears just shoot up and start moving around. He's a rabbit. And you see he sits up very groggily as he turns like, oh, it's you, Blake. Beg my pardon. I didn't expect you to be here. He sits up from the chair he was asleep on. I'm sorry. How can I help you?
Some creepy thing just roll up and handed me this. I think it's for you.
He grabs the summons and he opens it. He's like, so it rolled like a wheel?
Yeah, it was like a creepy doll.
Ah, it was an automaton. All right. It seems my father wants to see us at the earliest convenience. We need to hurry up because he is very busy, and that's probably why he asked us to come this early.
Should I wake up?
Oh, yeah. You wake up, Nozak. I'm going to go to the others. You see he snaps and his black owl basically just poofs and flies down onto his shoulder. He's like, we need to be quick. So you wake him up, and the two of you get ready and look as presentable as possible. And he just
Okay.
starts booking it up to go get to the others.
Luckily,
Oh,
you all
okay.
came in kind of dirty, but ball attire. So y'all look okay.
Not me.
Oh, that's true. You don't have any. I'm sorry. So, waking the others up, easy enough. Eventually, actually the hardest one to wake up, Blake, Duchess, as the chocobo just does not seem to want to get up this morning.
Love that.
Does she have like seed or anything, like food? Like Blake is just like putting a treat like under her nose, like, come on, girl.
Give me
Come on.
a nature check. Because if I recall correctly, you've never seen these before.
13.
You have no idea what chocobo eat. Like, you've never seen one of these before. They're birds, you think? So maybe some seeds or grain. Looking around, though, you don't see anything. You think that Grunthor likely has her food on him. But you have no clue what the big chicken eats.
Yeah, I have like, jerky from the road or whatever,
Mhm.
like whatever we've been, because we've been eating something. So
Yeah.
I have like, trail mix or like jerky, like, come on, like,
Give me an
Ma'am,
animal
come on.
handling check. So,
15?
with a little bit of coaxing, you stick the jerky kind of right here, trying to get her, and she keeps moving away. And as you try to force the issue, eventually she just kind of bristles up, and you get the feeling that she's annoyed as she eventually just kind of stands up and kind of shakes her feathers out and sniffs what you have, and then just kind of shakes her head and just kind of starts to walk away. She's
Yeah,
up,
and
but she does not want the jerky.
yeah, Blake is like, I wanted to say like Blake is like trotting alongside, but if she's like walking at any speed, Blake is like running, trying to like, and she's just like, I'm sorry. No, Zach, wake up.
I imagine you're screaming that as
Lord.
you and Dutch just kind of run out of the room, like, wake up!
Like she's trying to comfort the bird, and then she's just like yelling at the rabbit, just like, come on, we got, like, Izzy says we gotta go.
Okay.
Zach,
Yeah.
you wake
And
up,
she, like,
the
runs-
door's ajar, and you can hear kind of Blake just kind of running down the hallway, but you're just kind of staring around like, what's happening?
Oh, and then she's like, oh, there's more information. So she like turns, she's like, chicken, you wait, chicken. And then comes back and it's like, we need to dress nice as we can, because we're
I love
meeting
that.
Izzy's father.
Okay. Right. Yep. I will be there in a minute.
Do you got like, clean, like,
Hang on, I got this. Because I think.
Don't
Wait,
you have like,
can I unlearn? Like, can I change my spells with Artificer, or that's only Cleric?
That's cleric specifically. I think artificer is more like bard or something, to where you have to choose as you level up. I think you can switch them at a level
Damn it.
up, if I'm not mistaken. But cleric and druid, I believe, are the only ones. Oh, and bard. Wait, bard picks. Cleric and druid, I think, are the only ones that have like access to their whole list all the time. I believe.
Okay, cool.
Paladin.
Paladin. That's right.
I'm glad we've got a walking Dungeon Master's Guide right here.
I don't play a lot of paladins.
Alright.
I forgot about that.
Yep. Alright, I'll be there in a minute. Just give me a second and I'm good. I'll be there.
and she goes back and starts running after the chicken again, who is still just like, the chicken is like relaxedly walking, and Blake is just flat out like running.
You'll notice that the chicken is kind of sniffing the air too as you go. Every now and then it'll stop and it'll kind of sniff on the ground too. Stands up, it bristles a little bit, and it eventually leads you to just a closed door down a couple different hallways, and it reaches up with one of its talons and just kind of scratches on the door. Grunthor, you hear just kind of a scratching at your door. Just like a kind of brings you out of your slumber.
Is Ava around? I kind of poke my head up and look around real quick.
Oh,
Ava
you're
would be
awake. Good morning.
I was gonna say Ava's probably been awake for a while. You can hear this too, Ava.
What the fuck is scratching at the door?
Does it sound like the... Have I been woken up to this before? Like all the maidens
No,
doing this or no?
no.
Okay.
They tend to knock.
Okay.
Draw on a dagger.
Or just open the door in your experience.
Oh shit.
Okay, I go over and open the door.
As you open the door, you are tackled immediately as Duchess just kind of runs in and just kind of pulls herself into you and just kind of bristles, and then just kind of lays her head down on your shoulder and just kind of flaps her wings out while she's giving you like a big hug. And you can see Blake behind Duchess just kind of panting from having run to keep up with her.
Did she hurt you? Are you hungry? What's happening? And I kind of glance over at Blake.
You'll notice that her hair, what's on your shoulder, it's actually moved down now, and it's rummaging through your pack, like on your, like just kind of like on your side here, just like trying to find some of her greens.
All right. Hold on. And I pull out some of the flowers for her.
Perfect.
I'm like, it's okay.
Blake's taking notes. Chickens eat flowers.
Yeah. No, Blake is just like, I tried to wake her up and she didn't want to wake up. And I tried to give her whatever I had, and that wasn't a good option. She didn't like it. But we got a summons for Izzy's dad, and we need to meet him as soon as possible. And we need to dress nice.
Oh, perfect.
I guess.
I'm all three of those. Well, I'm not Izzy's dad, so I'm two of those.
Whoa, what a plot twist.
I don't know. You seem to hit it off. You seem to hit it off with his mom. You could be Izzy's stepdad.
Oh,
Hey,
God.
Anyway,
So gonna see Nozak come around the corner, like clean as a whistle in his outfit.
Yep. And then Izzy, I imagine
I can stop my spells.
you would show up.
And I had a Google.
Oh, can you?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm good now.
Izzy would show up last after you all are
you
kind of
see
together for a while.
Walks to the room, and he has like a silver platter, and he says, "All right, I brought some fruit for you all to." Oh, you're all here, and dressed in your fancy attire, it seems.
Did
We
anybody
didn't exactly get the...
change in the time you were waiting for Izzy, or did you stay the
Yeah,
same?
I haven't took this off since we left Lindblom. I'm going to be honest.
Blake, I told you to tell them to look presentable.
Hey,
Blake is
Formal.
just like, I did what I could. I told him that.
I would wear this.
No,
as a
you guys.
clergy.
Well, no, you don't have. You all don't have to dress up. You just need to. You just need to look nice. So if you're not comfortable in that, feel free to change into something more comfortable.
I'd wear this to the church if I'm doing sermons or if I'm doing work. I'm fine in this.
is this not appropriate attire?
No. I just want you guys to also be comfortable.
Oh, okay.
Here,
Taking
all
off
of
my
you
pants.
all of you, just grab some fruit. We need to move quickly. Like I stated to Blake, my father's a busy man, and that's probably why he summoned us so early. Come on, I can take you all. Ava, please try your best to throw up in this bag I found. He just throws a bag to him.
So, as Izzy hurriedly leads you off to the council meeting hall, you do have to take one of the teleportation circles. Ava, I'm just gonna. You're the only one. Once you clear a certain DC, you'll go get a tolerance to it,
I'm
but
ready
so
for it.
far it's been just so low.
I had a great night's rest. You know, I'm feeling confident.
I think you
honestly.
You
got
got
this.
this. I believe in you.
Yeah,
Two.
yeah. I'm feeling
5.
I'm feeling a little sick. Izzy, something's wrong with this fruit.
Oh my god.
As soon as you go through the portal, you have need for that bag as you just pull for it and just into the bag, and you've never been more grateful for a present in your life. As you just
Smart thinking.
your stomach is just not dealing well with these. I swear, once you clear the DC, I'll stop making you do it. But the natural one, I'm having way too much fun with from like 2 sessions ago. So,
Yeah.
I do have to ask.
Like,
Sorry, go ahead, Blake. Because I was going to ask, how
I was
are
just
you
saying-
dealing with this? Are you going to have to catnip up again, or?
no, I don't think she's gonna cast calm because I think she realizes that this is not a conversation to be high off her ass for, and she's tired and nervous, so it's like can't even like risk shoot like overshooting it.
Mhm.
So she's just like closing, like she just walks up to it and then just closes her eyes like as she gets close, and it's just like like, and I'm presuming that she's still walking near Duchess, so she's just like kind of holding on to the saddle just like for dear life.
So, Grunthor, I imagine you would probably notice this. I assume you'd assist with getting Duchess and her into the portal, not letting her walk over the side of the. But that's, I don't want to speak for your character. I just, from what I've gathered from Grunthor.
I mean, when Duchess is next to me, I pretty much have
Okay.
a hold of her reins, so she walks with me, and I can talk to her and pet her. I like putting a hand on her once in a while.
Okay. So, you all make your way to. So, once you step on this one, you're on the upper city now. But when you step on this, the teleportation actually takes you even further up to one cloud with it's a smaller cluster of buildings, but it seems to loom above the rest of them even. This is the Mage's Council area. There's only a few buildings here, and there's one that's just kind of imagine like the Vatican with that giant square that they have. Yeah, like what is it, St.
Vatican
Paul's?
Square Garden.
Exactly. So with that giant square, there's people out here just doing conversations, just work of some kind. But the building itself kind of rises up past that square that kind of towers over everything. And from here, even with the effects of the charms that have cast across Mysidia, the air is extremely thin here. As Izzy just kind of confidently, without stopping to talk to anybody, leads you into this building. And once you kind of get in, there's this reception area of some that's just very ornate. So if you thought the palace was nice, this is even nicer. The lights in here are a little bit brighter, and everywhere you look, there are those little automatons just running everywhere. Forward, back, carrying different stacks of paper here and there. You see some walking with staffs that are like delivering them from place to place. And at the far end of this giant reception area, there's a huge double doors that's probably 15 feet tall. And there's 2 automatons on either side of that, just kind of standing there motionless, just staring out into the room as you see Izzy walking straight for the doors. Blake, this is unsettling as hell for you. For these creepy ass dolls.
Like,
Just
it's
really
not happy.
quickly. Just really quickly.
Yep.
Grunthor, can I see your shield for a second?
Sure.
It's gonna puts it on the ground. It's like double the height of me. Just gonna look at it a little bit. You're like,
It's like a tower
"Oh,
shield for you.
Yep, I think I see how I do this. I grab a little ballpoint hammer. I'm just gonna smack.
Izzy,
Cool.
give me an initiative check.
An initiative check?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see how well this goes. Nice. That's a 10.
Nozak, what are you doing?
I'm casting an infusion on his shield to give him +1 AC.
Okay, give me an initiative check.
Okie dokie. Initiative plus the proficiency is 15. 1, 2, 3, 18.
You're able to get this off before Izzy can say anything, but Izzy, you notice it out of the corner of your eye, and you know that here, specifically in the council chambers, there is no unauthorized use of magic. It has to be...
That for us.
It has to be authorized. It has to be from someone who has the proper credentials for practically safety reasons. You notice this right as Nozak casts the spell. Once this happens, you hear this loud as 10 automatons drop what they're doing and swarm around you and just kind of like form a barrier around you and the shield.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea what's going on, by the way.
Oh,
Of
Grunthor,
course.
I fixed the shield. Well, I didn't fix it. I made it a bit stronger. Very tall. It's like I can't even reach the top of this shield.
The automatons are
It's very
the
interesting.
perimeter they formed around you are kind of closing in, just to kind of circling around you. You feel one grab at you from behind. Are you going to resist it?
No.
Okay. You feel one of them grab you kind of just, and you're small too, so it just kind of reaches out and grabs and pins both of your arms to your side as another one walks up and it reaches down to like this little thing it keeps at its side. And it pulls out what's essentially a little collar. And it comes and lacks it around your neck. And that's it. They let you go and they walk away.
Oh my god.
As you go to speak, you realize that your voice doesn't come out.
Oh no, what a shame that I don't need to speak for some of my spells. Oh well.
You have been silenced.
Izzy is grabbing the bridge of his nose as he says, I did not think that this... you see he stops as he thinks about how he wants to say this, and he stops. He's like, that could possibly come off as mean. I should have told you, there should be no magic cast here.
You're going to see him press a button on his thing, a little bit of paper comes out, he rips it off, grabs a little bit of ink, writes on it, hands you a note.
Yeah, sure, Izzy will take the note.
It just says, worth it.
All right. So from now on, no more magic, because I'm very sure my parents will be very annoyed by this, and they will not want to hear us out. So let's continue on.
Yeah, you know what? Nozak's in that mood, puts out another paper, writes on it, hands it over.
Izzy takes it.
They'll live.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Please. Nozak, just be on your as best behavior as you can be, please.
He goes to like zip his legs, he's like...
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
So, you make your way towards the double doors. The automatons, as you kind of come up, you know the procedure here. You stop, and they kind of come in front of the doors, and they stop, and they stand in front of you. And you can see they just kind of, their faceless, voidless eyes just kind of look up, starting at your ears, and just kind of look down as though they're scanning you for something. Then, with wordlessly, they separate, go back to their posts, and the doors just slide open. As you walk in, this is a very large, circular kind of council chamber. You see at one end, straight ahead of you, there is a bench that has multiple seats. At the moment, there's nobody there, except for your father, your mother, and Hikael kind of standing off to the side. Around the room are different kind of bleachers and benches that kind of go up, because this is also not only where the council meets, this is where they would hear from people in Mysidia. This is where they hold court, for lack of a better word, where they do trials, things like that as well. As you start to come in, your father is the first one that kind of looks up and notices you. He seems to be in conversation with your mother. And give me an insight check. Just
Sure.
Izzy.
Nice. That's a 17.
Hikael off to the side looks uncomfortable as he's just kind of standing there, kind of fidgeting a little bit. Your mother has her normal kind of mask on. It's very hard to read. Your father does not look pleased as he looks up. Isaiah,
Father.
welcome home.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Everyone, this is my father. This is my father, Archmage Adonis. Odonis, in case you guys are confused.
He stands up. So he is also Viera, as you would imagine. Very tall, darker skinned, with just kind of short shaved hair. You'll notice that on his head, he wears this kind of gold ringlet. This is what you might imagine. It looks like a crown, but not. It's less flashy than like a crown would be. But it does have a small little focus here in the middle that you think probably is some kind of sign of his position. The robes he wears are ornate and glorious, made from the finest silks that any of you have ever seen in your life. As he kind of walks around this council bench very slowly and kind of comes down the few stairs that are there. Your mother, by the way, is kind of just standing back. And he just walks a few steps in, but no closer. He doesn't approach you any further than coming down off of the dais. I hear you wanted to talk.
I did.
Then talk.
Wonderful. Thank you for even seeing me, Father. Now, I wanted to speak to you.
As you're talking, he kind of cuts you off with his hand flies up, and the doors behind you slam shut in the middle of what you're saying.
I wanted to speak to you specifically about my friend Grunthor. I'm not sure how much you know about him, but he's from the nation of Bestog. And I've noticed while looking up, there seems to be a very powerful incantation keeping people from knowing about it. And I wanted to know if either you or the council could take out this mental block he seems to have on his past. I don't particularly care if you take out the mental block for what people know about Bestock. That's up to your leisure. I don't really particularly care to know more about the place, but I care about him, and I would like you to take the block off of his memory specifically.
Why exactly would I do that? What do you need this information for? Did you ever think that maybe it's being hidden for a reason?
Yes, but I thought it couldn't hurt to ask.
Very, very few people on the council know about Bestock. The very fact that you seem to have come by this knowledge somehow is concerning.
So what I'm hearing from you is a no.
Is that all you had?
Unless Mother has found out more about the Mother Crystal, so I can tell you all about the winds. Yes.
Give me an insight check as you say that and kind of glance towards her.
Okay. Nice. That's an 18.
18. She is very hard to read in that she has become practiced at hiding what she's thinking and what her emotions are. But she seems a little troubled at the moment. And she doesn't really want to meet your gaze when you look at her.
Is there a problem?
Your father speaks up. There's no problem. How did you get here, Isaiah?
Oh, I teleported.
How exactly did you get here?
I used a spell to teleport.
We both know that's not possible.
Oh, yes, I thought so too. It was actually my mentor who helped me learn the spell.
Give me a persuasion check.
Yeah, sure.
I like how you always agree to it. Like, one of these days, I think you're just going to be like, no, and just not roll it.
That's a 9.
So you're telling me you now possess the magical ability to teleport yourself and others here.
To here specifically, yes. I can't do it anywhere else. The farthest I can teleport regularly is a couple of feet.
So you can do magic.
Yes, I had a very good teacher who taught me the language of the Arcanum.
Would you care to prove it?
May I ask why you're taking an interest?
No. You may not.
Oh. Well, then I guess that tells me everything I need to know. Father, with all due respect, we actually do have a very pressing mission we need to get to. So if you don't mind, I think it's best that we don't waste time and you tell me why you really want me here, despite not being willing to give me answers.
Call it curiosity.
Hmm.
All right. You seem to have an agenda here. I'll make you a deal, son. If you can prove to me that you are as proficient in magic as you claim to be, I will tell you whatever you want to know. If you can't, you leave. And don't come back.
That's all right. I think that's fair enough.
Well, then we'll do it the way that we always have. With a duel.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, come here. And you can see his eyes just kind of go wide. And he starts to shake his head. And your father turns to him. Down here. Now. Kyle just looks to your mother, and she looks at him, and then just kind of steely gaze looks back towards your father. One more insight check.
Yeah, sure. I was just about to say something too. Nice. Whoa, no, never mind. Not nice. 7.
Can't read it. What were you gonna say?
He just looks at Kyle. I'm assuming not knows. He's like, and I think he looks at he and he says, "Brother, come on. Father wants us to have a duel. I want to show you what I've learned." And I think when Kyle looks at him, he's not scared. He actually is smiling, and he actually seems interested to see where this goes.
Give me a perception check. No, sorry,
Yeah,
persuasion check. Sorry, I misspoke.
All right. Listen, he wants answers, so he'll... Yikes. That's a 5.
He does not look reassured. He glances at your father, and your father's just kind of very stoically staring at him. But you can see like his the anger starting to kind of come across his face as Kyle comes down, and he walks over to you, and he looks you straight in the eye. I'm sorry, Izzy. And that's where we'll pick up next time. So, there we go.
I've never seen a magical duel done in D&D, so this will be interesting.
This is so fucking
It's going to be fun. So, there we go. That is it for tonight's episode. Thank you all for playing. I love the ones that have a lot of character moments, and this was so good. I can't wait to see how some of this stuff comes out. Blake, your evolving relationship with the chicken is adorable to me, and I can't wait to see how that also grows your relationship with Grunthor as well. It is just the cutest thing I've ever seen. So that'll be it. So for tonight, I do want to just quick plug something really quick. I did start a new YouTube channel, Wolfkin's Tabletop. So these episodes are still going to be going on Highwind Herald, but the playlist is going to be on the Wolfkin's Tabletop, and I've got some other fun things that I'm going to be doing. Some one-shots too. If I can convince some of these people to play other one-shot random things with me, you might see them around as well. But nothing's really changing on the Kupo Quest side of things, so still finding it where you want to. But again, thank you for watching, thank you for playing, and I can't wait till next time to see what happens. This is going to be great.
Next Monday.
Lally ho, friends.
See ya.